And we are now joined by Surigao del Norte 2nd District Representative Ace Barbers to discuss the latest developments in the House Tri-Committee hearings on the online spread of fake news and disinformation. Welcome to Morning Matters, Congressman.
Hi, good morning, Gretchen, and good morning to all our televiewers. Magandang umaga po sa ating mga kababayan.
Let's pick up from the latest hearing, that second hearing on fake news. PDP Laban is accusing the Tri-Committee of harassing the vloggers and influencers by summoning them to this probe. Some vloggers say that this is a trap to have them arrested. Your reaction to that?
Well, first of all, they have to realize that the objective of this Tri-Comm hearing is only to establish a regulatory policy in the use of social media platforms in the country. All of us in the country know that in the advent of the social media, a lot of fake news have been spread, all over the country, and disinformation, malinformation, and misinformation are prevalent. So, what should the government do to address these issues? Because it will undermine national security. It will perhaps even to the extent of undermining democratic institutions. So the government cannot just sit idly and do nothing. So the Tri-Comm initiated this investigation of fake news and eventually, in aid of legislation, come up with a remedial legislation. And that's the only objective. Why should we waste our time what did they say, entrapment, or why would we waste our time in detaining them if we don't have any basis? Can we get anything out of that? No. The reason why we invited them is because they were the ones who are active in the social media, and we wanted to know if they indeed would agree to a policy that will be approved by Congress and eventually become a law. Because if they don't agree, then definitely these guys are the purveyors of fake news. They are the ones who doesn't want to be regulated and controlled because they want to continue their shenanigans, or so to speak, the spread of fake news. So wala namang plano.
I wanted to get more insight, though, into how you chose the batch of vloggers that you invited to the hearings. Because if you take a look at the names, a big chunk of them are actually associated with the Duterte camp. We have 13 petitioners who filed for the unconstitutionality of the hearings. At yung mga pangalan doon, talagang kumbaga litaw na litaw sila, like Crisette Laureta Chu, we have Attorney Trixie Cruz Angeles, Lorraine Badoy, Eric Celes, Sas Rogado Sasot, etc. How did you determine who to invite to the hearings?
Well, the first parameter is that we got a list of all those who are active. It just so happened that those active bloggers are political bloggers, which is probably, which we think is associated with a different political party. And but that's not the only basis, Gretchen. There were bloggers like Maluti Kia, Attorney Recto, and others who are actually who participated and appeared before the committee and even gave their opinion as to how we can come up with a regulatory policy. So these are, I think they should they give too much importance on themselves. Hindi dapat, alam mo, the reason why we want them there is because they're the ones who are active. And some of them, I'm not saying all, are the ones who we feel are spreading fake news. Kasi I remember when the incident in the West Philippine Sea happened, binangga yung ating mga fishermen, binutas yung mga life raft ng ating mga Coast Guard, binuli tayo ng Coast Guard. They did not even issue a comment or a statement condemning the aggression made by the Chinese Coast Guard. So, ang feeling namin, teka muna, dapat ito yung dapat nating binubuhay sa sa social media. But that's just one topic, Gretchen. No? And generally, what we really have, what to happen is that a policy that there will be a code of conduct, no, among social media actors. There must be some sort of discipline and, of course, accountability. If you start spreading fake news, you should be accountable. Now, they will say, and I'm sure they will argue, oh, there are existing laws. You file a case. There are already cyber crime laws and anti-cybercrime prevention act. You can use that as basis to file. Kaya nga natin tinitingnan why is it that since 2012, when this Cybercrime Prevention Act was passed, hindi naman nagagamit ito na batas doon sa mga dapat pailan ng batas, no? So we want to look into this and perhaps revisit and see how we can improve, no? Again, no, they give too much importance on themselves, Gretchen. Parang feeling nyo ba kayo ang heroes? Kayo ba ang kayo lang nagmamahal sa bayan?
Well,
Hindi
Congressman,
naman ganun yun.
nabanggit po ninyo no December 4 actually that you're calling into an investigation into the spread of harmful online content by trolls and pro-China propagandists. You zeroed in on those two things. So, and di naman po kaila sa marami that you are decrying harassment. Also, Congressman Benny Abante during the Quad-Comm hearings na hinaharas po kayo online as those hearings were happening. So, hindi po ba yung reaction po nila na medyo defensive sila dito ay it is quite merited?
Well, syempre, merited sa kanila on their, as far as they are concerned. No? But ito lang yung usapan dyan. Sa tingin ko, no, pagka ayaw mong ma-regulate, ayaw mong ma-disiplina, may plano kang iba. No? Pangalawa, hindi ba dapat na magkaroon tayo ng effort to stop the spread of fake news in the social media? Dapat ba lagyan natin ng disiplina yung mga gumagamit ng social media kasi maraming nagmumura, no? And alam naman natin that children are accessible to the social media platforms. Pangalawa, merong nananawagan ng kaguluhan sa bansa. O hindi pa, yung iba, to make it even worse, ang kanila nananawagan ng kudeta, di ba? Pag-aaklas, no, dito sa ating gobyerno. And I think this thing should not be tolerated, no? If you want to express dissent or your opinion against the government, you can do so. No one's stopping you. In fact, there should be a balance between freedom of expression, which is a guaranteed constitutional right to all of us, and dun sa regulation. Kaya nga lagi natin sinasabi, di ba, a right that is provided for or enshrined in our Constitution is not an absolute right. If government feels that this is going to undermine national security, it is going to undermine democratic institutions, and the whole society will be affected, will be
Congressman,
endangered.
which leads me to my next question. Aren't we treading a dangerous thin line? Because every time we talk about government regulation in the media and on social media, it could possibly infringe, again, on freedom of expression, but not just that. Who gets to determine what is fake or what is true? What is allowed? What is a danger? What is safe? I mean, that is also, isn't that also subjective, arbitrary? I mean, paano niyo po lalagyan ng proper guardrails without actually sending down chills down our spines?
Okay.
Hindi po ba
Number
delikado
one,
rin yun?
Gretchen, you're a broadcast journalist, right? And you are under a strict regulation by a organization that monitors and makes you accountable if you do erroneous reporting, di ba? Kaya nga may KBP di ba? Sa mga journalist naman sa print, meron din silang NUJP. Now, in the commercials or advertising, meron din silang PANA, no, that regulates them. Why can't we not regulate social media when we all know, you and I know, that these platforms are the ones being used to spread fake news. Ngayon nga, magtanong ka, hindi mo na alam kung ano yung totoo eh. Di ba? Because there were several disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. So that is the only objective of this. Why are they scared? Diba?
Well,
Eh kung ang
Congressman, who
kayong
gets to
mga
regulate
broadcast
though?
journalists at mga reporters ay meron kayong panuntunan, meron kayong pamantayan, meron kayong mga regulasyon, eh dapat siguro gawin din natin yan because social media, because of the internet, no, everybody is accessible to that. May cellphone ka lang, smartphone ka lang, meron kang internet, you can practically read anything you want to read.
Who is going to regulate that? I mean, we already have libel laws. Kapag kami po ay nagkakamali sa mga report namin, pwede kami makasuhan ng libel. I mean, not just us, but also our newsroom. And we have that in the law. We actually also have Article 154 on the revised penal code against false news. So that is already there. What legislation are you gearing towards, or how are you thinking of putting up that mechanism of regulation?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Gretchen. No? There are laws already. And perhaps it is the best time to revisit these laws. No? Number one. Number two, there is probably a need to craft a new law or a remedial law in order that these regulations will be implemented. Eh kaya nga, pumapayag nga kayong ma-regulate eh. Eh bakit social media ayaw pumayag? Di ba? I'll throw that question to you, Gretchen. Would you agree that a regulatory policy be imposed or implemented in the social media? Give me your answer. As a journalist, di ba? I'm sure you would want that. Diba? So that we can control
on
the
a
spread
personal
of
note,
fake news and regulate and make people accountable if they indeed violate such a law. No, it's a flimsy argument to say that mag-file kayo ng kaso. Hindi naman ganun kadali yung pagpa-file ng kaso, di ba? Na kaya nga namin kayo tinatawag eh. Magbigay kayo ng suggestion. Huwag niyong awayin yung naghihingi ng suggestion sa inyo. As simple as that.
Congressman, after 2 hearings, what kinds of laws are you looking at? I believe there is a proposal to secure or to require social media platforms to secure a franchise from Congress to operate in the Philippines. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, that's one. But we're still studying it. No? We wanted the experts to study that further because we wanted to look into the amending the PSA Act, no, or the Public Service Act, no. Siguro baka maisama diyan ni social media. Second, bakit may proposal to for the social media platforms to secure a franchise from Congress because according to them, no, they're bound by the rules imposed on them by their mother company abroad. No? Teka muna, dito kayo nag-uupisina, dito kayo nagbi-business eh. Hindi ba dapat dito rin kayo ma-regulate, dito rin kayo magbayad? These guys are making so much money. YouTube, Facebook, what else? All these platforms. And they always say that we have an office abroad and they're the
We
ones
we
who are
actually do have
regulating
laws
us.
already that tax them. So meron na pong in place na batas na
Anong
nagre-require na
batas?
magbayad ng buwis yung mga
Anong
platforms.
batas? Anong batas?
Yung e-digital VAT services.
Okay.
So meron na po yun. Kumbaga
kaya nga,
nabubuwisan na po
exactly.
sila.
You mentioned that, Gretchen, no? May digital tax na sinasabi doon sa Lazada. May digital tax doon sa Shopee. Yung mga shopping online na digital services ang meron, no? Pero yung platform, halimbawa itong
No, even Facebook, I
YouTube.
believe in YouTube, they are paying from ads, commercial ads. They are paying taxes to the
because
BIR.
withheld yun, automatic yun. But in the amount of money that they make for the whole year, are they paying taxes to the BIR? The BIR in that particular hearing said, well, voluntary kasi yung pagbabayad ng mga platforms nila at saka yung mga bloggers that make that monetize, no, in these platforms. So I guess we really have to look into this. Bakit ba yung ibang bansa, no? Bakit ba yung Egypt, China, Singapore, they all have regulatory policy, 'di ba? Meron silang policy na hindi ka dapat mag-abuso dun sa paggamit mo ng social media platforms. Bakit sa Pilipinas hindi ba natin pwedeng gawin 'yon? The
Well,
fact
Congressman,
that
if
broadcast journalists, meron kayong KBP, yung mga journalists sa print, meron silang NUJP. Yung mga advertisers, meron din silang PANA. And these are all rules that actually regulate them so that it will prevent abuse
but
or the
Congressman,
spread of fake news and misinformation.
if you put that in the hands of Congress, isn't that also prone to abuse? On one hand, it can strengthen it. On the other hand, it can also be prone to political pressure, political persuasion. Why the Congress as the arbiter of all of this?
Why Congress? Is because Congress is the one that craft laws, no? It doesn't actually, I absolutely agree with you, no? Bakit Congress? Kasi there were stories or there were incidents that some members of Congress have probably overstepped or overreached. Pero in this case, if they feel that they can be regulated by a non-government office, okay lang sa atin yun. Kaya nga humihingi tayo ng opinion nila. And maybe, like you're a broadcast journalist, you can also share your opinion or suggestions with us. And we will take them all in. It's not as if it's Congress who's going to control and regulate it. Hindi. Kung gusto nyo kami, pwede naman kami. O ang gobyerno. Di ba? Kung gusto ninyong private or NGO yan or whatever it is, like KBP, NUJP, PANA, kayo nang bahala dyan. What we want to hear from you is what is your opinion and what is your suggestion as far as one, code of ethics is concerned. Discipline, accountability, just like what you guys are bound by the KBP rules.
Well, Congressman, what will happen if these vloggers and influencers continue to skip the hearings? At pangalawa, it is not just them who actually did not appear. Also Facebook, also TikTok. YouTube was there, but the two biggest platforms did not attend the hearing. Ano po mangyayari?
Well, I only have my opinion, but of course, I will submit to the wisdom of the three chairmen of these three committees. Participant ako dyan because I was one of those who delivered the privileged speech against fake news. No? Kaya yan ang role ko. Pero sa Tri-Comm na yan, it is chaired by, the lead chair is the Congressman Dan Fernandez, and the Committee on Public Information chaired by Congressman Joboy Aquino, and the ICT Committee chaired by Toby Tiangco. So sila yung magde-determine, sila yung Basta ito kasi I think it is let us disabuse the minds of people that it is Congress who wants to control the regulatory policy. No, if you feel kasi tayo kaya nga in aid of legislation itong hearing. If it appears in that committee hearing that it is not Congress who's going to regulate that, so be it. We're not going to argue and debate. If you want an NGO to do that, let's do it. NGO.
Congressman,
The remains that the main objective really is a regulatory policy.
Correct.
Nothing more, nothing less. Wala hong entrapment dyan, wala hong detention dyan, wala hong ano dyan. Kung ikaw ay nandoon sa kabilang panig, wala namang problema yan Opinion mo yan at right mo yan. And we respect that. We honor the provisions enshrined in our Constitution. Wala ho kaming ibang ano dyan. Kami, gusto rin namin naman na na-honor din lahat ng ating karapatan pantao na nakasaad sa ating saligan.
Congressman, we're running out of time, but I just want to get the answer quickly. Are you planning to expand the list of people to invite? Because another perennial problem online is the black propaganda troll farms. Meron pa po ba tayong iniisip na idagdag ito sa listahan ng mga resource persons?
Yeah, alam mo yung troll farms na sinasabi, kasama yan sa aming investigasyon eh. Hindi pa lang namin na ika nga natutumbok. Of course, we will invite everybody na active dito sa social media. No, whether you are black, you're white, you're brown, whatever it is. Basta makaka-contribute ka, you feel like makaka-contribute ka, tulungan mo ang gobyerno mo. Tulungan mo ang bansa mo na magkaroon ng ganito. It's not me, Dan Fernandez, or just any member of Congress here. Para sa bansa mo ito. Gawin mo ito para sa Pilipinas, hindi para sa kung kanino man.
Kailan po susunod na hearing ng fake news?
I have no idea. I think the three chairs would decide on when the next hearing, who to invite, and I am certain that the invitation to the social media actors will be extended. Kasi yung iba, alam mo Gretchen, yung iba, gumagamit ng fake na pangalan eh. How can you now invite them? Diba? Kapag ikaw ay gumagamit ng fake na pangalan, ano ibig sabihin nun? Baka ikaw yung purveyor ng fake news.
All right, that is a question hanging over our heads. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much for your time this morning and joining us on Morning Matters here on One News. That was Surigao del Norte 2nd District Representative Ace Barbers.